Shalom, good evening. So today I went to help an elderly couple that I went to go, who have been such a blessing to this community that, anyway, they needed help to remove totes and boxes and filled my truck twice and made 4 trips. Long story short, my back was hurting. I was like, the stuff that we were dropping off was being given to this other lady for her company. And in my mind, the enemy, how he gets in there, he's like, she should be loading this and helping, and that's not right. And so while my mind's thinking all that and how I can, how I felt and how I was drained and tired and sore and all that stuff, on the last trip that we made back, there was 2 younger women. They were younger than me. We'll just call them plains people who are, they don't believe in guns or weapons or really defending themselves. They trust in the Father. So knowing that, I'm coming up behind them and they're walking on the side of the road on the left of me, but I notice there's this Dodge truck sitting there and he's going maybe 3 miles per hour, right behind them, about 15 feet back. And they're just talking, and they didn't even notice or hear him, but I did. And everything in the spirit told me that he was creeping up on them, debating in his mind when the right second would come that he was going to kidnap these girls. So I'm going, there's no way I'm going to let that happen. Yeah, I'm just a woman, but I also have a camera rolling in my truck at all times, and also I have my 9mm sitting there, and if that fails, I have tons of other weapons. So I make sure that I pull up near them, and so close that I let him know that I'm watching him. And right then he started speeding up, but I waited, I waited with them for, I don't know, a good 5 minutes probably to make sure that guy actually took off and left, and everything, like I said, in the Ruach Kadesh, in the Holy Spirit, was telling me he was getting ready to kidnap these girls who were just out on a Sunday walk after church, literally not even a mile from their church. A church that I've helped do work with. I've worked with them. So knowing that the Holy Spirit told me to wait with them and to make my presence known, and of course to operate in any way that he told me, that I had to, basically. He was not leaving with those girls. He was not going to follow those girls. And again, these 2 young women had no idea that this guy was creeping behind them. I had been watching them for a while, because when I was coming down this hill, it's a pretty big hill, I seen the truck. And at first I'm like, okay, well, that's one of the brethren. They're probably just making sure they're safe because of how slow he was going. But no, as soon as I pulled up and made eye contact with this guy, this grown man, probably about 50s with a beard, and first I noticed the tires weren't part of the brethren. Like, I know these people, and they don't buy stuff like that. They're very frugal with their money, and they don't buy things that are customized or, worldly, basically. So, long story short, if I'm just a mom and I notice this, and I could do something about it, I have a camera rolling, I got my Glock right next to me at all times, I got backups on backups. What if all of us started paying attention? If you guys even had any idea how many children and women and boys are being kidnapped and taken and sold or raped or murdered, like, you have no idea the amount of actual numbers. And it's scary. It's very scary. I think it's like 250,000 are kidnapped at Walmart each year. I'm not even going to tell you the numbers of what happens at Disneyland. But these are just, this is just a backwoods, back road that right next to their church, not even a mile from it. And of course, they're so trusting and innocent that they had no idea. They They had no idea. So the father, even though I was complaining about in my mind why no one else was helping this elderly couple, because they blessed so many people, and I was upset about it. It was like he had me there for that exact moment. And I just praise you, Father Yahovah, that I was there, that I can make a difference, that I made my presence known, and that there was no way with me there that he was taking these girls. So, yeah. But anyway, if we all just maybe pay attention, and if maybe we all get off our phones or whatever we're doing while we're driving, and maybe pay attention what's going on around us. Keep an eye out for your own community, for your own neighbors, for children. So I just thought I would share that with you and encourage everyone else to be very aware of your surroundings. Even if it's not your family or your friends or your community, keep your eyes out. Be that set apart individual that the Father places in these paths, because how many times have we all drove by what probably ended up a really bad situation and had no idea? Like, we don't know everything, but I do know that I was there for that exact moment. So it's a very scary thought. I have children, of all ages, and I would be so happy and blessed to know that someone was also keeping an eye out for their protection, because there's others out there that are dark and they're evil, and they're keeping their eye out. They're paying attention. They're trying to get these women and children, and that's not okay. So just be alert, be sober-minded, be have your situational awareness at all times. Like, just because I operate probably in red most days, I use it as a gift. I use it as a blessing, because it probably saved these two young women today. And again, I'm just a woman who made my presence known and refused to leave, refused to go on about my day. And, I had my own responsibilities to get back to. I could have just kept driving. I said, that's strange. I can't. I don't have that in me. So, something to be mindful of. And I hope that all of you, become more aware. So that's all I wanted to share. Have a blessed day, and pay attention. Shalom.